All right, well, we're about to go into the general store. So, of course, this was a site of a Civil War action. Well, the uniform is really neat. And,
Right, this is a reproduction, obviously, of Gilmore's uniform. It matches the picture that we have of him.
Okay.
Which is on the front of one of the books about Gilmore.
Now I'm going to back up a little bit, just scan this room. So you got to come to Jerusalem Mills, and where else would you like to take Goober and I around in our building here?
Okay, well, we do have we have a Chesapeake Nine baseball team that plays vintage baseball here in the summer. That's their uniform. They're in a regular league. They play 1860 rules, no gloves. If they catch it on the first bounce, fair or foul, you're still out. It's a unique thing to see. We can head back to the McCourtney room.
All right, I'll pause our video. All right, well, we're in the next room. Take it away, Glenn.
This room is dedicated to Sam McCourtney. He was the storekeeper from 1906 to 1939. And when he passed away, the store was divided into apartments and didn't become a store again until the Friends of Jerusalem Mill restored it about 12 years ago. He was a unique person in that he was a big-time hiker, which we like to show the hikers that come through here to do the trails. Every year on his birthday, this is when he was in his 80s, he would hike from here down to what's today's Inner Harbor and back all in one day.
Wow. Well, how many miles is that?
About 16 to 18, depending on how direct route you take.
Okay.
And the Sun paper would do an article on him every year that he did this. He just did it the one day a year, so he could build up for it. But he would leave like 3 o'clock in the morning, stop and have breakfast with someone. Usually the mayor would meet him for lunch, and then he'd walk back. But when he hit 86 or 87, the family's not too sure, his nephew went down in a car and brought him back, so he only walked one way.
Okay. And what do we have in this display case?
Well, he was a violinist. Even his family admits not too good.
Okay.
And we have a sword from the Mexican War. McCourtney's uncle wanted to fight in the Mexican War. This would have been the 1840s. But he said he wouldn't go off to war until he had his own sword made. And he played it very well because when the sword was finished and complete, the Mexican War was over. So he never had to go to fight.
So he never had to go to war.
And he passed it on to his nephew, Samuel.
Now, what's this big metal box sitting here?
This was a safe that actually sat in the store itself. And it's a book safe, not a money safe.
Okay.
Samuel McCourtney never had a cash register. What he had was a ledger book. And he would know all the families around here, so when you came in, he'd just put the name down and what you took. I'm sure if you were out of town, you had to pay. But he just kept things on a ledger, and then either at the end of the month or whenever, they would settle up.
Gosh, Goober's showing up everywhere in this video at Jerusalem Mills. Well, this room is really nifty. What else do we have?
Okay, we've got the store itself.
Okay.
This is a 1930 store. Ah, you have a customer.
And we have a customer. Wow.
So most of these items were items that were donated to the Friends of Jerusalem Mill out of people's attics and basements, things that their grandparents had that they didn't want to throw away. And they gave them to us, so we've saved them.
I'm overwhelmed with all the awesome stuff. I guess, how about we start over there and go around?
Okay.
Is that...
We know what the layout of the store was because McCourtney's granddaughter, who lived to be 100, passed away about 7 years ago, I guess, drew us a diagram of where everything was. So we know, for instance, dry goods were over here.
Okay.
Cloth and material, sewing things. And we basically built our displays about what people were able to contribute to us. One item we have that's a little unique is a corn shucker. It's just a leather strap you wear around your hands with a metal bar like on it, and you scrape corn off of corn cobs if you're going to fry corn or something. A man sent it to us who used to live across the street in the house there, And he says he's 99% sure that his mom bought it here in the store in the 1930s because there wasn't any place else to buy such an item. That's one of the unique things that we have that could pertain to the store. And the other would be the post office in the corner back by the window. The post office originated here in the late 1800s, and then this post office closed and it shifted to Franklinville. And when Franklinville closed its post office, he sent us the post office back, figuring it was the original one from here. And it's just got about 20 slots in it.
I got
About 20 slots in it, and the letters that are in there are representative. They were things either mailed from here or mailed to here, shows and so forth. And Jerusalem had its own postmark.
So this is the post office right here.
Right,
Pretty sophisticated, huh?
right. Fully automated, as long as your arm doesn't get tired.
Well, this is how about the stove here?
The stove's not original, but a stove did sit in this spot.
So that would be the area for everyone would be around that during the winter time.
Yes, and it's got a sandbox under it to catch the sparks. One of our original members told the story. He shopped here as a little boy in the 1930s, and there used to be 3 barrels here and a plank of wood. This is where the men would sit and discuss the important events of the day, because men, of course, don't gossip.
Wow, if the walls could talk here, huh?
Right. But he and others remembered you had to come in and you had to go past the bench to get to the penny candy, because the penny candy, everyone agrees the penny candy was in this corner. Some people disagree about some of the other things. But he said he remembered his definition of a man. Now this is when he's late 80s when he told the story. His definition of a man was when you could sit on the bench and your legs were long enough to reach the sandbox.
Oh, let me get a picture of that. All right, so
And if you could do that, then you could sit with the men. If your legs weren't long enough, you came in and got your penny candy and you went out the door.
went out the door. All right.
Another feature we have, we try to keep things local, so all the cans up there are Harford County cans from cannery labels. Falston, Aberdeen, Hickory. There were over 150 canneries in Harford County.
Wow.
In fact, the mill had a cannery for a while in one of the buildings, but no label. If you go back to the 1930s, Cal Ripken Sr. played baseball in Aberdeen, and the team was called the Aberdeen Canners because all the local canneries sent their cans to Aberdeen to put them on the train so they could be distributed north and south.
Wow. Well, I'm amazed at everything you have in here, and I see Miss Betsy could get a new pair of shoes. I see a pair of shoes in this case, and
I don't think my hooves are going to fit in those.
You can also repair the shoes. Every
And,
home has their own shoe repair kit.
I'll do just a little.
Curler hair, there's curlers there. They could fix you up.
So-
Well,
It's an amazing museum in here. I'm ashamed. I have never been here, and I live less than 3 miles away. We're going to go into the next room.
okay, we're in the gift shop here at the general store. This area is dedicated to the products made by our own blacksmiths. We have a variety of men and women blacksmiths. You see the usual that you would expect, pokers and hooks and things like that. A few years ago we had a young 12-year-old girl who used to make courting candles. She was very interested in that because in colonial times you could regulate how long your boyfriend could stay at your house by regulating the height of the candle. But she gave up blacksmithing when I think she was about 15, 16, had to explain to her boyfriend that she was a blacksmith part-time. Then we have other items, some that pertain to the store and the village itself. We have copies of the Johnson Gilmore raid. This is by Daniel Toomey. This gives a summary of the raid that took place in
Okay.
1864, which some people were very interested in the local
The
history.
local military history of
Right, and well, it's not just military. One of the groups under Johnson's command found a wagon loaded with ice cream, and none of the men had ever seen ice cream before, and they ate it and basically got what we would call brain freeze today.
Well, I have to say, I go to hundreds of gift shops, believe it or not, in probably a year's time of historical sites, and this gift shop is really filled with really neat items. I love these birdhouses. Is someone locally making these?
Yes, they're based when I guess it was about 10 years ago, they redid the covered bridge at Jerusalem Village, and they had wood left over. So we had a couple men that volunteered to make not only bird feeders, but also bird houses, using some of the scrap wood from the...
And mailboxes.
And yeah, mailboxes too, I'm sorry.
Mailboxes too.
But
Wow.
I don't think we have any showing.
Oh, you got penny candy, just like the original general store.
Oh, yes.
Well,
The
and
kids love that idea.
what do we have down here? I'm going down some stairs.
Okay. Well, on your right, we've got a player piano. The piano itself is in tune and ready to go. It still needs a little work as far as the pumping part does. But again, we have a variety of things, books on historic topics, clothing,
Wow. And they even have some shirts, it looks like.
all around. Jerusalem Mill Village shirt,
Wow.
a unique item.
Really a nice, and I really like how you have a lot of children's books, so the children can get a book to take home and learn more about history. And
We also have tinsmith stuff up here on the tree.
so,
Yeah.
So just this year, one of our blacksmiths has become a tinsmith, and he's made these beautiful ornaments for us to sell in our gift shop. There's
Wow.
icicles and stars, and he's making lanterns and other kind of candlestick holders as well.
so you can get one of these very unique
Yep,
decorations.
and then there's a little candle holder here as well
Oh,
that he's made.
very nice. Well, I'll have your website and everything for Jerusalem Mills on the video, so we can do the. If people would like to purchase one, they can contact you, and you can throw it in the mail. Correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, this pretty much concludes my tour of Jerusalem Mills, and I want to say thank you to Betsy and Glenn and Ken over at the mill itself. And what would you two like to close out my video with?
Just want to wish everyone a happy holiday and a wonderful new year. And please come visit us. We're ready for you.
All right. Well, and like all my videos, I always like to close out with stay safe, be kind, and be courteous, and be extra kind this time of season. Thank you, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas.